Well, it's that time of year again. The camping season is over, and it's time to put the trailer away until next season. Before we put it away, we should do a few things to make sure it's going to be in great shape when you're ready to take it out next spring. We live in Ontario, Canada, so it gets well below freezing in the winter time, and we get a lot of snow. We want to make sure our trailer is protected as much as possible over the winter storage season. The trailer spends about 6 months of the year outside all the time, non-stop. During the camping season, it's always out there cooking in the sun. So in the off season, I like to get it out of the sun because the sun is the major contributor of damage to travel trailers. The sun can dry out the caulking on the roof and on the walls, and with dried caulking comes cracked caulking, and that is a pathway for water to get in, and water can destroy your travel trailer. Also, the sun can fade the side walls, can shine in the windows, fade your upholstery, and it's always sitting there on the awning. Even when the awning is rolled up, there's one section of it that is always cooking in the sun. And if your tires are just sitting there not moving, the sun can break down the rubber. Now, ideally, I'd love to find an indoor temperature-controlled environment to store the trailer. But those are few and far between, and they usually cost a fair bit of money. The next best thing is indoor storage that is not temperature-controlled. When you do store it in an indoor facility, you want to make sure it's not a place that's ideal for rodents. We stored it in a friend's barn for a couple of years, and it was surrounded by a cornfield. The one spring we went to get the trailer out, we saw ears of corn on the roof of the trailer, and when I got up there and had a good look, all 4 corners of the rubber roof had been eaten down right into the wood, and I assume it was a raccoon that did it. I had to do an immediate patchwork at the storage facility before taking it out and getting it home. At home, when Cheryl was cleaning it out, she found a lot of mouse droppings. That's not an ideal situation for the trailer. Roof damage and could easily cause a fair bit of indoor damage with the mice inside. We learned some hard lessons from that, and now we know if we're storing it inside that we look for a facility that animals can't get into. Also, we need to enclose our trailer better so that if mice are in the area, they can't get into the trailer. One piece of advice when I got this trailer, I brought it back a few months later for a little bit of warranty work, and I spoke to a guy outside, and he told me, with a brand new trailer, get underneath it and have a look, because they spray foam these things, all the openings, but they do it very quickly, and they don't check to see if it filled in the area. So when I got this trailer, I went underneath, and I easily found places that mice could get into. So I added a little bit more spray foam there, making sure that mice can't get into the inside of the trailer. With this trailer, for the first few years, we stored it outdoors, but it was under a roof and surrounded by other trailers. So the roof protected it from sun and snow, and the other trailers protected the sides from sun. Unfortunately, we don't have that location to store in anymore, so now we store it completely outdoors. So we bought an RV cover to cover it up. Before we get into all that, let's talk about our 5 steps that we take to winterizing our travel trailer. The first 4 steps we do at home, and the last step is at the storage facility. Number 1 is to empty the trailer. Number 2 is to inspect and repair the trailer. Number 3 is to clean it inside and out. Number 4 is to prepare the plumbing system. And number 5 is final staging.
We want to take everything out that could be an animal attractant, like food and smelly items, such as many toiletries and cleaning supplies. We empty the pantry, wipe it down with a water, vinegar, and a drop of dish soap solution. We then pack the non-food items, such as empty bins or shelving. We turn the fridge off, empty it out, and wipe it down, leaving it empty and the doors open so mold does not form. We empty all the cupboards of our clothing just in case mice get in. We don't want to give them nice nesting material. We remove batteries from devices that use batteries. Some people take out the TV, but we've always left ours in and have never had a problem. While you're emptying everything out of the trailer, it's time for the next step, which is to inspect and repair. You're going to want to search for any water damage in your or under your kitchen cupboards, under your bathroom cupboards, etc., because it could be a sign from a leaky roof. You'll want to get on that right away.
Inspecting and repairing isn't crucial for winterizing, but it is crucial for maintaining your trailer. And now's as good a time as any to get that done. Now it's time to get on the roof and inspect for any damage or caulking that needs to be fixed. It's crucial to keep the trailer watertight. Check all caulking, such as at the front nose cone, around the antenna, the fridge vent, other vents, the shower dome, and the rear bead. You should also inspect the caulking along the sides of the nose cone and the sides of your trailer. If the caulking on the roof is breaking apart, you need to remove the loose caulking before repairing it. If it's still holding together well, you can caulk over cracked spots. You can see how I've done that in the past, with the cleaner looking caulking being the most recent. If it's the side caulking that's failing, you should remove all the caulking to be repaired, because generally caulking on the walls of trailers don't permit new caulking to adhere to it. I've done a video on how to caulk the sides of your trailer. I'll put a link in the description. Also inspect around your outdoor shower and your inlets, as well as your windows and doors. That's actually butyl tape and not caulking. If it's failing, it's best to remove the item and remove all the butyl tape and add fresh butyl tape. During inspection, I found that the awning was starting to tear. This is a spot that is always exposed to the sun, even when the awning is closed. I decided to do a temporary fix to try to prolong the life of the awning. I used some awning tape and applied it to both sides of the awning. I pressed it down into place as best I could. Hopefully this gives me some more time with this awning before I have to replace it. Once all the repairs are done and the caulking has cured according to the manufacturer's specifications, it's time to clean the outside of the trailer. Cleaning the outside isn't a crucial step in winterizing your trailer, but it's a step I like to take to maintain the trailer. Picking it up in the spring without all of last year's grime on it is really nice.
So on the last day of our last camping trip, I'll do the plumbing cleaning, which involves washing out the sink, the shower, and the toilet, because we still have water, so that's when I do all that. And when we bring the trailer home, I will do a basic cleaning of cleaning everything out of the cupboards. I'll use a water with a bit of vinegar and a drop of dish soap, and give everything a wipe down, sweep out the floor, just some basic stuff. I don't do a full clean because when it's in storage, it tends to get a bit dirty and there'll be like little bugs dropping, whatever. So when we get it out of storage, that's when I do the full wash down.
I like to wash the entire outside of the trailer from the top down, starting at the roof. I've tried different products over the years that specialize in cleaning different parts of the trailer, but now I'm using a product that cleans it all, which means it's simple to use and you don't have to purchase and store a bunch of different products. I use Zoom RV Cleaner for the roof, the walls, the awning, the tip out, everything. You spray it on with a garden sprayer, let it sit for a few minutes, then gently brush it in with a soft bristle brush. The final step is just spraying it off with a garden hose and you're done. No pressure washer needed, no scrubbing. It removes the dirt as well as black streaks. I found it's the best thing I've ever used on the awning. When it rains and the awning is closed, water still gets in the awning, then sits in there and holds in the dirt. You open up the awning and it has all these stripes of dirt on it. I've always found those stripes very difficult to get off, but not with this stuff. By the way, I'm not sponsored by Zoom RV Cleaner. I don't get any kickback on sales or anything. I saw them at the Toronto RV show and decided to try it out. I'll put a link to their website in the description below. It's now time to do the most important step in winterizing your travel trailer, and that's preparing the plumbing system. If you don't do anything else to your trailer to prepare it for storage, at least do this one thing: winterize the plumbing system. If you don't, if you leave water in the plumbing system and it gets below freezing, you'll get freezing in the pipes and you'll get broken pipes. You'll get your trailer out in the spring and realize it doesn't hold any water at all, and it could be a very expensive repair. First thing we do is bypass the water heater. We're going to be putting RV plumbing antifreeze throughout the water system, and we don't want to put any in the water heater. We just leave that empty. You want to find access to the back of your water heater and open it up. What I did was remove the screws and put magnet strips in here to make it easy access. I opened up the top too so that we could have a better look inside. So looking at the back of the water heater, this is the tank. This is the cold water going into it. This is the hot water coming out of it. And this is the bypass area. And right now, this is open, and this is open, and this is closed. That's because the water tank is in use. So you have cold water going in, hot water coming out, bypass is closed. Now, this lever is different than the other ones because I had to replace this at one point, but it works just the same. So what you want to do is you want to close the cold water, you want to close the hot water, and you want to open the bypass. Now, no water, no cold water can come in, no water's coming out, and this is open right here. So when the cold water comes in, it can't go there, it goes up here, comes back out here. So it bypasses the water tank. Outside of the trailer at the hot water tank, open the pressure relief valve to release any pressure built up inside, then remove the plug or anode rod if yours comes with one. I have a wand here. It's for cleaning out the water tank, something you pick up at an RV store or Amazon. It's very inexpensive. It has its own valve on there, on off. Swish it all around in there, and it will get out the sediment from the bottom. Then you can close up your water heater tank. Doesn't matter if there's a little bit of water left in there. It's a big tank. If that water freezes and expands, there's plenty of room to freeze and expand in there. It won't cause any damage. Close the pressure relief valve. Tighten this back on, so you're good to go for the next season. Don't do it too tight, it's just plastic threads. You want to do it nice and gentle, just snug. Then you drain the rest of the trailer, starting with the fresh water tank. It's currently closed. I'm going to open it. Drain all the water out of it. This is an additional piece I put on. You can buy that on Amazon so that you don't have to unscrew the plug that's there. These are the low point drains. You want to open up the faucets. That's going to depressurize the system and allow the water to continue coming out through the low point drains. When all the water is drained, you can close these back up again. Let's close these drains back up. Now we're looking at the water pump here. This is the hose that goes into the water pump, and here's the hose coming out of the water pump. This hose going in has a T intersection here. As you can see, this one's closed and this one's open. This is the one that comes from the fresh water tank, and so when the pump is on, it pulls water from the fresh water tank and into the pump. Well, we're going to close that because we are not going to be pulling from the fresh water tank. And this hose here, it just has an open end on it. There's nothing there. That's because it's to put into your antifreeze. So we want to open this up. And now when the pump turns on, it will be pulling water or plumbing antifreeze from this spot through the tube and into the pump. Now I know from experience, it's probably going to take about 3 of these jugs, which is 3.78 liters each, to completely winterize my plumbing system. Now, you can buy the bigger jug, which is almost 10 liters, and that's what I normally do. That way, it is a smooth flow the whole way through. I don't have to switch over jugs. But there is a deal on these ones, so about smaller ones. So the best thing to do is to pour these smaller ones into a big pail so that you never have to stop the process. It'll just consistently pull out of here. And you can add more antifreeze to it as it's getting low. So I'm going to dump a couple of these in here. This is just certified plumbing antifreeze that I got from the local Canadian Tire. It's $5 a jug. So what we do now is put this under the hose into here, and we turn on the pump. You'll start sucking the antifreeze into the pump and pressurize the system. Next step is to open up the valves one at a time. Start with the cold. And you'll see plumbing antifreeze is coming out nice and pink. Turn it off. Turn on the next one. This will take longer because it's going all the way to the hot water tank and coming back. And it's okay to leave a little extra draining because that is going to fill up your P-trap. And you want to do that for each of your faucets. Your bathroom sink. And again, you want to run it until the pink comes through. Into the shower. Let's see what our plumbing antifreeze is doing. It is going through there. I think I'll add another jug to it. Don't forget to do your toilet. And leave some plumbing antifreeze in the bottom of your toilet to keep the valve seal lubricated. Definitely don't forget to do your outdoor shower. All the drains have a P-trap, so the water comes down the drain here when you empty the sink, goes through here, up here, and then down the pipe below. So water stays trapped in here, and that's how it's meant to be. It prevents odors from coming up the pipe and going up into the drain. So you need to replace all this water in here. You want to put plumbing antifreeze in there. So you make sure that you pour enough plumbing antifreeze down the drain to fill up this area and get the water out. The way I do that is just run this a little extra, making sure that it's all antifreeze that fills up that P-trap. And make sure, good and sure, that it's all antifreeze in the lines too. There, that P-trap should be full. Let's do that to the shower. And the kitchen sink. Now we used up 3 jugs. Let's turn the pump off. Okay. Let's take the hose out, and it might drain a little bit when you lower it back down. I'm just putting it in there. Now, I like to turn this back so it's not drawing from there anymore, and I put this back so that it goes to the freshwater tank again. So it's all set up for next season. And this just gets tucked back in there like that, and we're all set. And with the leftover antifreeze, I just pour it down the drain. Make sure that P-trap is full. Now, a good thing to do is to wipe out this because it does stain, or it can stain. So you want to wipe that out nice and clean. Now I open up these. And it is pink, so that's good. It's plumbing antifreeze. That's good. Final step is to close this back up, just because I don't want any critters going up into there. Make sure your gray and black tank valves are closed and your cap is on. We're all set for what we do at home. We now take our trailer to its final storage location. Once it's in position, we remove the TPMS sensors and put the plastic caps back on the valve stems. We take out the battery to take home and store indoors.
Got 3 of these dampers from the dollar store. Just take the foil pack off, and I got 1 in each room, bathroom, kitchen, and bedroom area. And they absorb a lot of the water throughout the season, the moisture. These things, our fridge came with these. These are to keep the fridge from locking. You can always just throw a towel over the doors just so you don't get any mold building up over the season. You want to keep your doors open. What else did I do? I did a quick vacuum, wash down through the cupboards. I put a sheet on the mattress just so, because we leave the vents open during the season so we don't, again, get condensation building up. We have a cover, a special cover, RV cover that we put over top, but still the bits come down, so I cover up the mattress, keep that protected a bit. We've taken out all our liquids. We've secured everything. If you don't have a cover over your RV, I would suggest closing your blinds so the sun doesn't come in. And
I would actually suggest putting cardboard or something up between your blinds and the windows so that the sun doesn't fade the blinds. But definitely have something covering the windows, even if it is just the blinds, so the sun doesn't come in and fade your upholstery.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and you've winterized the piping system. All the food and liquids and perishables have been taken out. Yeah, I take out all liquidy things. I found I used to leave them in, like soap and stuff, but then they'd separate and break down. So we take all that stuff in. Leave all the dishes, pots, pans, cutlery, that sort of thing stays in. Some of the games, some of the things like up in this cupboard I keep in the trailer because the mice can't get in there. They can't get in these cupboards, but there is a chance they can get in any of the cupboards that are on the ground where there's plumbing coming up. They can sneak up through the holes. So anything that you don't want to get wrecked, take it out of your trailer just to be on the safe side. Well, I got a few balance sheets. I might sprinkle those through just so the trailer smells nice when we pick it up in the spring. So I will do that.
Okay, let's put the cover on.
Okay, let's put the cover on.
We had a little difficulty putting the cover on this time. We're usually much better than this. It took so long, the weather changed, and we got it on just in time for the rain. If our tires were going to be exposed to the sun, we'd cover them, but we're in a row of trailers, so the tires will be shaded all winter. If you follow these 5 steps, you'll be prolonging the life of your travel trailer with proper maintenance and storage. When it comes time to getting your trailer out of storage in the spring, you should have minimal work to do to get ready for your next camping season. Thanks for watching, and happy camping.